the Oklahoma Newsroom, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we are brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Time for 5 and 5. 5 topics, about a minute each for 5 minutes. Let's get to it with this one, Barry. It's a true-false. True-false. The NBA should go to the top 16 teams for the playoffs.
I'm going to say false. I don't think that's a good idea unless you make the schedule completely balanced and everybody play virtually the same schedule. And you don't want to do that. You like the geographic context that divisions provide, where Dallas, San Antonio, Houston in the same division, where a Thunder plays teams in the West more than it plays Cleveland and Atlanta and Toronto. I think the conference setup is best, and if you keep the conference setup in terms of scheduling, I think you have to go with playoffs determined the same way. I think the truth of the matter is, while it's imbalanced this year with more good teams in the West, if you go to the top 16, there's going to be a lot of years when an inferior conference like the East gets an inordinate amount of high seeds that they don't deserve. So there's problems with both systems. I say keep it the way it is.
Yeah, I think it's false as well. And I mean, it's obviously trendy right now for us to be here in Oklahoma City and to say the NBA should just take the top 16 teams, because I think if the Thunder were in the East, I think they would be like the 6th seed. So, I mean, that right there tells you that the West just has a lot of really good teams. But eventually that will sway, that will switch. It hasn't always been that way. It may seem like it because since the Thunder has been good, the West has been the premier conference, top to bottom, 1 to 8 or 1 to 10 or 12 or however far deep you want to say those playoff teams go. But yeah, I think it would be a difficult thing. It would create other challenges. So yeah, I mean, now it seems unfair, but there are a lot of years that it would probably be the other way around for folks here in Oklahoma City. All right, Barry, what's that first round playoff series you're most excited to watch?
I'm like everybody else. I'm looking forward to the Clippers and the Spurs. We're talking about two really good teams, both very hot. The Spurs won 11 of their last 12. I think the Clippers won 13 of their last 14. Two really good teams playing at a high level. Turns out just by a virtual, almost coin flip, Clippers are the 3 seed and get home court over the San Antonio. But this is going to be a great, great matchup. I actually think the Spurs are going to win, but I think it's going to be some really good basketball. You know,
I don't know what you did, but we did a picks grid and some picks that we explained on newsok.com, the picks grid in the Oklahoman. And I know for the 4 Eastern Conference series, I think I picked sweeps in all of them except the 4-5 matchup between Washington and Toronto. So to me, those are, I mean, I guess Washington and Toronto might be good, but I'm not sure I'm fired up about it. To me, it's all about the West series. You know, really pretty much all of these series, even I think the Warriors and the Pelicans is going to be a short series, but I think it's interesting because you've obviously got a team playing like the Warriors have played against a guy playing like Anthony Davis has played. So sign me up for basically any of the West series, although I do think that Clippers-Spurs series could be something really special. All right, Barry. Hey, is golf back? Really?
I don't think so. Golf is still sort of on the Tiger rebound. Some great young players, Jordan Spieth, of course, Rory McIlroy. Lots of young guns to get excited about.
Did the Sunday at the Masters do anything for you to get you excited about golf?
No, it was. You know what? It was an unfortunate. The Masters is great for its back nine drama, and there just wasn't enough. Spieth had such a lead that I think it robbed golf of a little bit of what could have been momentum. And frankly, we're judging golf on a very high standard, which is the heyday of Tiger Woods there in the early 2000s when he created such a national euphoria over the game. So is golf in bad shape? No. Is it in the kind of shape it was when Tiger was riding high? No.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Although I think people may be a little bit more likely to tune into a Greensboro Open. Do they still have the Greensboro Open?
I think they've renamed it after some bank.
That's unfortunate. But I think people may be a little bit more likely to tune into those non-major tournaments with Jordan Spieth. Obviously, you had the Rory-Tiger match, twosome in that final day of the Masters. It didn't congeal into something super spectacular, but you know that leaderboard all weekend, where that was the names that you would want on a Masters leaderboard that golf you know, people would love, and I think even non-golf people would love. So it was definitely a step in the right direction. Jordan Spieth seems like a guy that's, you know, going to fire a lot of people up. So it'll be interesting to see how that carries over as the tournaments become, you know, you're going to have a run of tournaments that aren't as exciting or as high profile as the Masters. We'll see what those TV numbers look like. All right, Barry, our fun question of the week. Ice cream flavor you'd like to try. We asked this because Ben & Jerry's has decided that they're going to do a new ice cream flavored beer. Now, I'm not sure I think that's a great idea, but it got me thinking, what would make a good ice cream flavor?
Well, I think Ben & Jerry are sort of on the right track here. Just got a little off center. How about ice cream that tastes like a root beer? Here's the deal.
You love root beer.
I love root beer, and everybody loves root beer floats except not me. I don't like my ice cream all liquidy. So get the ice cream with the liquid solidified into it with the flavor. Root beer ice cream, I think, is a fabulous idea.
That is a fabulous idea. Well done, Ben & Jerry. Let's get right on that. You know, I think any dessert I love in an ice cream flavor, I love creme brulee. I love cheesecake. I don't think there's probably a cheesecake ice cream.
There probably is. I don't know why there wouldn't be.
Creme brulee ice cream, though? I've never heard of that.
Well, isn't creme brulee really vanilla?
Yeah, well, sort of, kind of.
Sort of custard?
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it is out there.
Maybe it is.
Well, all right. But any sugary dessert, get on that. That's my ice cream flavor for you. All right, Barry, lastly, let's get back to the serious stuff. Adrian Peterson, what jersey will this guy be wearing this fall?
You know what? I think he's going to be wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey.
Wow.
Just all the signs point to the Cowboys wanting Peterson. Vikings aren't going to give him up for nothing. I mean, they're going to make Dallas do something. But the Cowboys have sort of cleared the cap space trying to get Adrian Peterson. Maybe, you know, the Dallas sends something draft pick-wise and one of the running backs already on the Cowboy roster, be it Joe Randall or Darren McSpadden, whoever it might be. But I think the Vikings will, you know, they'll have shades of Herschel Walker. They're going to remember that trade and want to make sure they don't get hoodwinked this time. But it seems like maybe that's the way the leaves are pointing.
Yeah, I think it's, if I had to pick between, you know, say Vikings in the field, I'm not picking the Vikings. The Vikings are saying, you know, we don't have any intention to trade him, but I think that's what you say when you want to make sure you don't, you know, give away Adrian Peterson for nothing. I mean, I think there's a pretty good amount of evidence that good, serviceable, maybe even better than serviceable running backs kind of fall out of trees in the NFL. I think you've written as much over the years, but I mean, it's true. Look at the number of guys that just randomly appear and go out and run for a lot of yards. Now, Adrian Peterson is not a random guy. We all know that, but he is aging. You know, he will have something to prove, so those two things may balance out a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be a happy situation for the Vikings for the rest of their team. So I have to think a deal is going to get done there. And you know, Dallas is the type of franchise that I could see anteing up what needs to be anteed to the Vikings to get that deal done. And Adrian Peterson would get to play for a team that he's loved all his life. So I think that deal gets done, and it would set Cowboy fans into a frenzy.
And Jerry Jones.
And Jerry Jones, exactly. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.